Amigos, what's up? Check out this crazy job we just did. It's a house that survived the lake fire. It was out here for a couple of weeks, almost a month or two, but the firemen did a great job out here. I don't know what they did or how they did it, but after you move all these leaves and blow them, there's nothing but ashes, mud, and a bunch of cans of Monsters and Red Bull. I did notice, so I know how they did it. But a great shout out to all the heroes out there, man. This house, I'm sure a couple burned, but you can really tell they worked super hard in this house. There's tree stumps everywhere. There's branches everywhere. There's mud. There's just a bunch of stuff out here. So I came out here to help our good friend Ron. You guys know we help him. Today was a slow Monday for us, so that doesn't mean I stop. I quickly get ready for the rest of the week, and I came out here and I started working. He even brought Joel. A lot of you guys don't remember, but he used to help me at the beginning of the year. But ever since the pandemic, we had to let him go, and he couldn't help us anymore. So a lot of lawn care goals that people made this year that were taken off because of the pandemic. So we'll continue to do things like that as we proceed, and we'll show you more as we continue the job. You guys can tell how many of the suckers were out here, how many of the areas were working and doing different things that we make sure that we came by, moved all the leaves, bagged everything. I'll show you how we bagged everything. Everybody works different. Ron was able to do what he had to do to make bags everywhere. Joel helped, and there was twigs in between different areas that we take care of, fellas. But like that, you guys can tell that we'll keep coming back, and we'll show you a quick progression of how it keeps going. Amigos, welcome back. Lake Hughes out here. You guys can see all the hills in between. We're still about 20-30 minutes from the lake, but you guys can see all the areas out here. Nice golden California hills out here. That's why we're the Golden State out here, fellas. Not because of the gold, but because of all the dry weeds that you see out here. The hills full of nothing but golden weeds, and that's what you see out here, fellas. You guys can tell how the desert out here just got burnt from everything. The lake fire came in, and then all the suckers already grew in quick. So even though the fire came in fast, you guys can tell these areas I was already blowing, making little piles here and there, keeping it going. So you guys can tell all the suckers on the left side where all the 12 by 12 papers are. I'm gonna have to go by with the pick by hand, do whatever it takes to make sure that we take them all out and keep making little piles. Joel and Ron went through the front and eventually caught up to me in the back, but you can tell how fast the fire must have came through here, fellas, that these firemen must have been going at it fast with picks and shovels and all sorts of things. And you guys can tell all the roots and suckers that came out of all these areas out here. I quickly took them out. So like that, the owner now wants to make sure that nothing grows in between or close to the house. He said make sure the perimeter stays clear. And then you guys can tell this nice rocky areas out here, they disintegrate after so many years. You can just hear me use the pick and they're just gonna fall off. You guys can tell that's part of life out here. The wind, the sun, and the water that creates out here makes all these hills eventually just corrode and start deteriorating. You guys can tell here again, right on top of the fire, right on the hill, and everything underneath, you know, it looks pretty crazy on this side. You guys can tell the fire took everything out. The hills were black, and that's what you see, fellas. You guys will see how we're getting pretty close to finishing this crazy job. Took us about 4 hours, and we're gonna have to go back for another 2 to pick up the mess. Everything's nice and blown. There's the green bags. There's some twigs that don't get bagged up. Everything had to be separated. Different areas that we kept taking care of. You guys can see all the tree stumps, how beautiful this area is now. There's no more leaves. There's no more suckers growing, and we're just gonna try to keep it clean. It's it's a rental that's up for rent. So hopefully Ron catches the monthly and makes sure that he tells the owner that he needs to have somebody out here at least once a month to make sure that these suckers don't get out of control and that they're able to still cut down. So that's what you see, fellas. Different areas out here. This is another side. I'm going to show you how some areas where the concrete is got full of just mud, mushy leaves that were burnt, and that's what it takes. We must have made about 30 or 40 bags today, and we're still gonna make a couple more. Ron said he would bring a trailer and we would be able to fill it up. But here's the area, fellas. There's fresh leaves right here, but as you continue going up in the hill, that area didn't go. We'll go into another house, fellas. Amigos, welcome back to our big saw job that we did last week. All of you guys remember we went by and did everything. We forgot this area here. We needed to fix the border, and the lady asked if we can add a couple drought tolerant plants. So I told her, okay, how much do you want to spend? She said $50. So we'll see how much that goes. I went by to the store. You guys can see all the areas are going by crazy. We bought 5 plants. We bought 2 chrysanthemums, and then we bought 3 Raphilipsis or Indian hawthorns, however you guys know them as. You guys can see how quickly we're progressing this area. I worked the border, I made it look perfect again, and now I'm gonna fill in the little grass pieces that are left. But you can tell how nice and smooth this area is now. I'm gonna go by with the trenching shovel and making the holes for the plants. The plants I brought are at 1 gallon size, so we were gonna be able to leave the tags there, so they're from Lowe's, and if they die or anything, they're gonna be free replacement. I went ahead and bought 3 that are flowering next spring and 2 that are gonna flower in the fall. These are getting ready to flower here, so hopefully they don't go into shock. They didn't seem like they were going to. They were getting ready to open up and flower unless the ice and the cold that came in over the weekend took them out. That's why I told them, say your receipt with the buckets, and if anything dies, we'll pull it back up, take it for a replacement. And that's what we do out here in California, fellas. You guys can tell, even though the ones are the Indian hawthorns are in fall season, they're still going ahead and blooming, so that was a plus. That's why I picked them. And different areas that we kept taking care of out here, fellas. Thanks to everybody that keeps watching our channel. You know, we have a couple loyal subscribers, or a couple loyal people that watch all these areas. This is another house out here that was due in part with the rain and snow that we had. I was helping Ron just before, and the rain or the snow slush stopped us. And then that's it, fellas. Thanks for everybody that watches. I'll leave you with the quick hyperlapse of Paola's new rooster that's been eating and going crazy around her house. So thanks for everybody that watches. AUC, amigos.